Hello everybody, we are back again with another live stream. Let's see if my microphone is maybe not a bit too loud. Should be not too loud. Yeah, it's sound and build. Picture are great. Yeah. The webcam is working again. Yeah, there you see. I put it a bit different location. I had a little bit of trouble. If you have two Logitech webcams on one computer, Logitech gets confused, at least in my setup. Yeah, everybody welcome. Last week we were doing a bit of fun the last 2 weeks with just making some music. Started minimal, ended up a little bit more synth-like. And yeah, this was one of the guitar sounds, one of the new lead sounds. And what I want to do today, because we're working on making RAW-2 NKS compatible, and then we also will have some new Edgy Leads in the Edgy Leads bank. And I think it's a good idea to create maybe today a few more and make these new presets, which are inside of it, available for you. So there are 10 new ones already. One which is this guitar sound, and you could download it then below from the description. So after the live stream, I will upload this bank. I will give some little instructions how you can add these presets then. So okay, let's go play back again what we had last week, and then we move over to a little bit more harsh stuff. So last week and the week before, we did some little music creation, sometimes presets from scratch, and sometimes we simply used a preset as a base. So this is where we were last week. Something like this we had last week, and it was more about having fun, not making a I mean, it has some nice vibes to it. I think I repeat my own melodies somewhere here from my album, I think. Oh, it sounds similar. I don't know, but that's what we had it. And you see, it started like a bit minimal house, but then it moved more to a synth type of music stuff. And that's because of my roots. I cannot help that. But what I wanted to do today is simply going to some edgy leads. So the guitar sound you heard from RAW-2, lots of distortion. And you see here's the pre-EQ, and you see here, it really has influence on the sound. Using a 12 dB low-pass filter, there's raw amount used, there's here this wave shaper, distortion, lo-fi is not used. And that's the cool thing of RAW-2, it can go very edgy. Although I must say, if I would simply go here to, for instance, in the lower bank where you see there is even a synth bank, synth sounds. So it's maybe a bit too loud, but so it can sound also, if you don't use the distortions or the extreme EQs, it sounds like a very nice virtual analog synthesizer. Even Berlin School Sequence is in here. You could play B. Maybe join. That's what we did with the presets. This is an original RAW preset, but now RAW-2 has ARP A and ARP B. So originally the RAW had only ARP A with 16 steps, and what we did is copy ARP A to ARP B, and then we shut down 2 steps inside of it randomly. I think it was always step 8 and step 16. So then you have, even with an older preset, the option to say, okay, let's join. And you have then 32 steps. So it has some classic synth sounds, or FM. Because, yeah, and that's a little trick we do with many of our synthesizers, you can shut down oscillator 1 from going out into the filter. So now it modulates only phase modulation, oscillator 2, and each oscillator also has its own amp envelope. So can do some nice FM type sounds, or tube. Would also be nice in this track, by the way. This kind of sound instead of the lead sound. Let me play it. Okay, I need to start on the first beat for the timing. 75. The timing is not nice. Okay. Timing is totally off. Maybe I will run into a little bug. Well, could be. But of course, we're working on the RAW-2 update for having it a NKS compatible. So if you use the NKS keyboard or machine 2 or 3, you can use that. Even nice Jupiter pad sound. So these are in the synth bank. But of course, it's known for its edgy sound. So there's the Edgy Leads, and there are the 10 new ones. And of course, it's very important for the classic lead sounds that you have a lot of harmonics, because they're very often done with analog machines. And therefore, we have also the analog modeled waveforms, which are very bright, a lot of harmonics. Yeah, you can give EQ automation, definitely. So you can record this frequency or using the modulation matrix. That's, of course, also an option. Yeah, many controls, but that's also what we did, is adding the easy page. So if you're not into deep editing, simply use the easy page and you can have the most important ones. Parameters are appearing in the easy page. So if this would be a bit too overwhelming, then you could use that one. So that's a nasty one. Okay, let me know if you still can hear my voice, because I had to put the headphones a bit softer on my own system. That's of course also a cool feature from RAW-2. It has unison, so if you go down here, unison, but it also has chords. So you have unison, classic unison, special modes, but then also a range of chords. And of course then detune is gone, so it's fade out down here. But you still can spread it. So plays now major, stereo spread, and even give it a bit of a delay. So these are chords. Or classic spread. So yeah, this one uses down here a fifths. So it's not a fifths tuning in the oscillators, but in the play mode. And of course, what is new in RAW-2 is this nice ribbon controller. Which has the spring back feature. And of course, we started the ribbon controller. Maybe you can recall it. We called it in Delsane, we called it the disrupt sphere, where you can adjust the delay with this ribbon controller. And at that time, it was called the disrupt. Let me see, here it is. If you go to delays, Delsane. Here it is. You have your disrupt sphere. Appa. It's a very cool delay. I think definitely one of the coolest delays on this planet. There are plenty of delays, but there's none which is similar to Delsane. And that's what we always focus on, adding creative features to our plugins, which make them also different. And there's a little blue planet going around here, or marble. It looks more like a marble, I think. So that's still sane. So if you think, okay, where came that idea? Well, they're saying it's disrupt sphere became inside the synthesizer, of course, the ribbon controller. Disrupt sphere, yeah. That's not available yet. But okay, our idea for today was making more edgy leads. So what I will do now, make here a cycle and go up with the tempo. Let's see where we make a cycle here. Okay, snare, let's go back with the snare. Mute. Okay, I take this one, but now I go 145 beats per minute. So this is of course a whole different type of background. I go to punch because I want to have a nasty kick. Here's the kick. And shut off some other things. Make it basic, and now I go to RAW-2. So let's play a kind of edgy lead. I need to quantize it. The timing is not perfect, but that's my age. So now this we could have as bass. Oh, some notes are not good. One. That one longer. So don't watch to pay attention. Don't pay attention to the melody. Creating now edgy lead. So let's try this. We can do two things: creating it from an existing preset and tweak that one. Or we could do from scratch, but let's take maybe I just pick one just to show you that also you can pick one of the presets and tweak it a little bit, and you will find out sometimes it's not that much needed for making it cool. Okay, I can go to the easy page. I could change here the EQ. Phase shaper is not active. It's a notch filter. Here I could take a different filter type. playing around distortion. And of course, if you're going to de-ab it, you can add a D. So this is a very MIDI sound. Unison you could try. Maybe the special. So with octaves, no. 2 octaves. No. Fifth. And there are, of course, these are on voice level, so each note has its own lo-fi. Makes it very dirty. No, here can pick a different distortion. Low end. Afterwards. Post EQ. No, not needed. The delay is bothering me, so I shut down the delay. So that's making more function. That's cooler. So the delay was not working here. Maybe a bit of reverb. We'll keep it out then. This is really a nice dry sound. So that's why I run in the background some music to have a little bit of feel what it would do next to some other instrument. Yeah, this is still useful. So when I think, okay, it's good, then the only thing I would check now is if the modulation wheel is doing something. Yeah, that's cool. Let's see if the ribbon controller is doing something. Yeah, that one is also good. And pitch band is not active. No, so I could add here the pitch wheel. Yeah, 2 semitones up, 2 semitones down. Let's see what a modulation weight tricks, pitch wheel, raw speed. Changes a bit to raw speed. I don't hear that. So you hear it's a very dry sound, essentially. So I would call this one save preset as. In this new, so this will be a new one. I would call this a paper chat. So it's because I'm creating this one while doing the chat room. So this one is called paper chat. Of course, I need to tag the preset, set category, bright, distorted, yeah, tempo synced. Yeah, it's wobble. No, it's not a wobble. It's a lead sound. Essentially, it's analog bass, yeah. It's monophonic, okay. And then I apply and save. And you see, when you play it solo, you think, but in the context of music, it's a whole different thing. So let's play it again. Could be a nice addition to a track. So this is how I create sound. So sometimes I start from a preset, existing preset, tweak it around until I hear something, hey, this is interesting. And then I save it. It's not always that complicated. So that's lead paper chat. So manager. I go to the manager, and you see in the presets, so the manager has preset listed here, and we have already now, compared to your version, there are 11 more presets here. I think on the release it was 35, so there are 11 more presets. And what I will do is the Edgy Leads, I make these presets for you available in the description box after the live stream, and I will mention to you how you can put them into your RAW-2 banks. Everybody welcome in the chat room. I see some new people popping up. We also have a very nice track at the end of the live stream to play. Okay, so let's do now one from scratch. That's more complicated. I go to the introduction bank. See sinus waveform. Maybe here's a square waveform. I could have the symmetry is on very thin, but it was distortion. This could maybe be. Let's give it a. Just play it. EQ ahead of the. Typical. That's something what the hardcore dance producers did. EQ ahead of the distortion. Sounds like the saxophone. Weird. Now this is then distortion. Let's go take a tube. No, that's not nice. This could be a nice plug sound. Yeah, it's gonna be punchy, this one. Let's see an octave. That's a very straight sound. Could use some raw. Or could record that. Octave. Starts barking. Maybe one octave higher. Oh. Although it's not bad. Yeah, it's barking sound. Yeah, then you have in this section, so these are on voice level. Each note has its own pre-EQ, post-EQ, and then the wave shaper, distortion, and the lo-fi are on note level. Then you have the main effects, which are here. And there you also have, again, an amp, modulation. Let's take it. Let's see what the modulation wheel does. I think it's not bad. This is a nice barking sound as an extra. So it's a bark plug. So you see now we started from scratch, did some things, not too much, and you see how much the EQ had influenced the pre-EQ, which is ahead of the wave shaper, and the distortion, which is on voice level, created the sound. So I use a bandpass filter here, and you see it's very fast. You have a very different sound. So here we go again, another one. Are we fast today? Yes, we are. Save preset as, it's called a lead sound, a bark plug. Yeah, that's what it's called. Make it mono. Sometimes I really consciously make the play mode mono because some sounds, if you play them polyphonic, even if the distortion is on voice level, it's less effective. Yeah, these are different sounds compared to what you do, for instance, with a Predator or a Bit 2 or a Blue 3. And that makes RAW-2 unique because of its synthesis concept it has. So save preset. Of course, I need to go to the manager, give it it's a lead sound. It's percussive, that's clear. It's the XY is doing the movement. It's a mono mode. It's definitely distorted. It has a fix. It changes the modulation wheel, changes the filter, and its bass is analog. So I keep it like that. And then there is the bark plug. If Rob had an omnichord. No, I don't have an omnichord. I can recall this one. This was this machine where somebody also had this hit with the omnichord. Cannot recall the name of this track, but that was a big hit. And done on the omnichord. So I create one preset from scratch, and the other one I simply took one of the presets which were already inside of it. Oh, now I put this one already in the introduction bank. Well, that's not a problem. I press go here, copy, because the introduction bank is essentially for the demo version. But that doesn't matter. I keep that one in and then go to Edgy Leads and do paste. And there we have the bark sinker. Also, what I sometimes do, I go to a different bank. Let's see, we're doing lead sounds. So, for instance, if I see like a lead. That's more an old car. Come on out of the way. If you are in a traffic jam. String nervous. Yeah, there are some weird sounds inside this machine. Definitely. Sometimes the volume's a little bit too loud. It's FM type of sound. Hear this low end inside of it? Funny. Okay, the Viper. Sometimes So, okay, this is a preset. Let's make something from this one. So there's a movement. Aha, it's here, the XY. Let's go with normal, play. Oh, and the LFO is doing this. It's distortion. Let's see if what works with edgy sounds is mid-tone sound. So let's try a bandpass filter. Oi, oi. Sounds a bit like a ping pong. By the way, here you have this offset. So I'm just fiddling around. It's just one oscillator used. Oscillator 2. It's a bit similar to what we had before, isn't it? Sometimes with the normal effects you also can go wild. So if I go to the flanger and do a strange flanger effect. Not so exciting. And that's also what is happening. Sometimes you don't get anywhere. Then you think, there's nothing special about it. And then sometimes you switch one thing off and suddenly it's... No, I don't like the flanger. That's better. Let's do some unison. Spread. Second one. No. Rob is not happy. No, this sound doesn't have any character. Yeah, and that also can happen, of course. If you start something, it runs into nothing, best is to stop, because then it doesn't go anywhere. So today, edgy sounds. So we had two of them. One we created from scratch, which was this one. Sounds also a little bit like a saxophone, a baritone saxo. Cool, isn't it? And the paper chat, which was very cool as a dry sound. So sometimes a dry sound also works. Not always has to be using reverb of delay. So not a bad idea. Sometimes if you work with the sound, if you go to the FX section, which is in RAW-2, it's down here. You have the ARP section, wave, modulation, FX, and path is how you order the things. You can change the order of things. Yeah, that's also possible. So the FX section, sometimes you shut off something and suddenly it will fit in your piece of music. So that's why I have in the background some music, you know? Although we... Okay, let's see the chat room, because I did not read the chat room. The chat room is up here for me. Okay, by the way, I can show you. If you look to the left, you can see the other webcam, and it goes up, and there you can see there's the chat room. Okay. So let's see the chat room. Yeah, it's even the case about the RAW-2 EQ that you can address that in the mod matrix as a destination. That's possible. Good. Let me see if we have questions. He missed the exit. Yeah, on the road is so busy. DJ H Productions. Yeah, on the road it's no fun. We had a lot of rain today, so I was on the road as well, and we had a lot of rain in the Netherlands. It came down by the liters, by the gallons, and it's a lot of traffic. Yeah, it's what it is. Yeah, so we're working on RAW-2 and some new presets. We also have some little bugs we need to iron out, and of course it will be NKS. I cannot show it yet because I have the big screen version of RAW-2, and then you would not see the control of it. By the way, I was checking the tagging, and I had this one. That was a nice preset. Let me see where it is again. Let's use modulation wheel. No, that wasn't. Let me see where we have it. Well, no, welcome, no. Oh, yeah, I can recall it. ARP welcome. That was it. ARP welcome. Looking here now, guys. Where is it? Where is it? This one. You definitely know this one. The reverb sounds a little bit long and dark. What brand car do you have, Rob? Yeah, what would you guess? I did drive very long French cars. One of my favorite was the Xantia from Citroën because it had the air thing. And now I drive a very nice automatic gear Qashqai, they call it. My little nephew calls it Qashqai, but it's of course Qashqai. And it can fit quite some instruments. So when I have my next live gig in that will be after the summer, I have another live gig. Of course, I will mention where it will be. And you could visit it, of course, if you live close to the Netherlands, Belgium, Germany, and of course the Dutch people in the chat room. And you could play me live, of course, have a nice little chat. Xantia 3rd generation, yeah. I really loved that car because of the suspension. It was so lovely. Yeah. I did regret a little bit that I did not kept it as a classic, because the shape of the Xantia is still timeless. It's still such a beautiful car. But when you get older, it's very nice if you have a higher, if you step into the car, that you have a bit higher position. That's a little bit nice. Also, while driving, you have more overview on the road. So, I mean, you have some nice BMWs, but when I get in the BMWs, that's not a problem. But getting out, that's a problem if you are at my age. Okay, guys. Oh, that's cool. Ski Rocco. They are fast. You don't see them that much anymore. Blue ski, I cannot pronounce that. Gerd Browns, you throw words which I cannot pronounce. I had ages problems with ratcheting, which I can pronounce now. But we have, of course, for this in the end of the live stream, another nice demo by a Rob Papen user. And he tells about the process. It's from Don McKay. It's a very nice ambient type of thing, which on top still happens more. And he says, I have 3 stages. It comes to writing, in some cases too. So I'm using another DAW like I did with this project. So with Reason, I usually get it as good in a production stage. And then he exports the stems into Ableton and then routing. Then he starts on with side chaining, etc. I export the Ableton in the mixdown stage, and then he does the mastering in Wavelab using, because he doesn't do that while doing this in the mixing stage, because he says then he got a little bit CPU spikes. He uses, at least in this product, he uses Synfax in this demo song or song he created. Also RP Distort, RP Reverb, and RP Ref, so the reverse one. This song is called Trapped, and it's by Don McKay. I did not receive, he has an artist page, but I will put that one in once we speak again. I would say enjoy the music by Don McKay. We check up next week again. And as mentioned, after the live stream, I will upload the raw new Edgy Leads so that you can copy them and enjoy them. So the song is called Trapped. Thanks for watching, and we catch up next week again, guys.